The year 1939 marked the beginning of a global conflict that would forever alter the course of human history. World War II, spanning from 1939 to 1945, engulfed nations across continents in a battle for freedom, ideology, and survival. From the bustling cities of Europe to the remote islands of the Pacific, the war's reach was unprecedented. The rise of Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime in Germany, with its expansionist ambitions, posed a grave threat to the fragile peace. On September 1, 1939, Germany's invasion of Poland shattered the illusion of peace, drawing Great Britain and France into a conflict that would soon escalate into a global war. As the war clouds gathered, the world watched in disbelief as the Nazi war machine swept across Europe, employing a lightning-fast military tactic known as Blitzkrieg. The entry of the United States into the war in December 1941, following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, marked a turning point in the conflict. The war had truly become a global struggle, with nations from every corner of the world drawn into the fight. The early years of World War II in Europe were marked by a series of stunning German victories, as Hitler's armies seemed unstoppable in their advance. The Battle of France in the spring of 1940 witnessed the collapse of French resistance and the occupation of much of the country. The evacuation of British and Allied forces from Dunkirk, though a logistical marvel, highlighted the precarious position of the Allied forces in the early stages of the war. The Battle of Britain, fought in the skies above England in the summer and fall of 1940, proved to be a turning point. The Royal Air Force, though outnumbered, displayed remarkable courage and resilience, ultimately forcing Hitler to abandon his plans for a cross-channel invasion. In June 1941, Hitler broke his non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, launching a massive invasion of the vast country. The Battle of Stalingrad, a grueling 6-month siege, marked a turning point in the war, as the Soviet Red Army inflicted a crushing defeat on the German forces. The Eastern Front was a theater of unimaginable brutality and suffering, where the clash of ideologies between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union played out on a scale unmatched in human history. The Battle of Kursk, in the summer of 1943, was the largest tank battle in history, involving over 6,000 tanks and millions of soldiers. As the Soviet Red Army pushed westward, liberating Eastern Europe from Nazi occupation, the atrocities committed by the Nazi regime, including the systematic extermination of Jews and other minorities, came to light. While the war raged in Europe, a parallel conflict unfolded in the Pacific, where the Empire of Japan had launched a surprise attack on the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The Battle of Midway, a decisive naval engagement fought in June 1942, turned the tide of the war in the Pacific, crippling the Japanese fleet. The battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa, fought in the closing months of the war, were among the bloodiest of the Pacific campaign, highlighting the tenacity of the Japanese defense and the heavy price paid by both sides. The world that emerged from the ashes of World War II was vastly different from the one that had existed just a few years earlier. The United States and the Soviet Union, once allies in the fight against fascism, emerged as superpowers, their rivalry shaping the political landscape for decades to come. The formation of the United Nations in 1945 represented a collective effort to prevent the horrors of war from ever happening again. The lessons learned from the conflict, particularly the devastating consequences of unchecked aggression and the importance of international cooperation, shaped the post-war world. The war also had a profound impact on society, accelerating technological advancements, challenging social norms, and inspiring movements for social justice and equality. As we grapple with the challenges of the 21st century, the echoes of World War II continue to resonate, reminding us of the fragility of peace and the importance of upholding the values of tolerance, understanding, and cooperation. The war's legacy serves as a constant reminder of the need to address the root causes of conflict, to promote dialogue and understanding between nations, and to strive for a world where the horrors of war are never repeated. It is our duty to remember the sacrifices of those who fought and died in World War II, not just by commemorating their bravery, but by working tirelessly to build a more peaceful and just world for all. As we face the challenges of our time, Let us draw inspiration from the sacrifices of those who came before us and work together to build a future worthy of their memory.